Hello, my name is Debbie Roy with Derry Community Television. Today we're going to be talking about the Special Olympics program in Derry and all the activities that Parks and Recs participates in Special Olympics. My guest today is Nicole Ferrante from Derry Parks and Rec. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you for having me.
So I know that Derry has some wonderful programs and we're starting to grow it even more with Special Olympics. So can you give me kind of an overview of what types of things we're involved with here in Derry?
Okay, so our center location right now is the recreation office, and we have a team of approximately 40 athletes, and their ages range from about 21 to actually their mid-60s.
Really?
Yeah, so we do a wonderful amount of activities with them, normally through the seasons of about September through June. So it's a great program. We're excited, we're growing, and we're excited to be also helping Special Olympics in some other areas in the community as well.
So what types of activities do these athletes participate in?
Okay, so normally we start in September, and when we start in September we are doing bowling. So they'll have bowling. Yeah, we love it. We'll go to the local Park Place Lanes in Wyndham, and when we're there they'll get to practice some of their skills there, but we also do some practicing in the gym over at Veterans Hall.
Really?
Yeah, we do. We set it up and they love it. It's great. After that, normally it's around the trick-or-treat time in town. It's actually normally the same day we have trick-or-treat downtown. We're running an event at the Park Place Lanes, and that's the state tournament for bowling. So that's kind of rounds up around about end of October usually. So after October, we take a little bit of a quick break and we start getting into the holiday things. So we'll work on some basketball skills, and then we'll start working on winter skills. And so we do cross-country skiing right now and snowshoeing. We have the equipment for them, but some athletes bring their own. And some of the equipment has been donated or given to us at a reduced cost thanks to Benson's in town. We're always interested in making those local connections, and we're very lucky to have them. So athletes will have the opportunity to participate in either of those two sports. Once the season's done, we're actually about to wrap up that season very soon. Actually, this weekend, we're going to Winter Games in Waterville Valley. So the athletes and some local volunteer coaches will head up with them. We have 14 athletes this year going, and I want to say we have about 8 volunteer coaches who will also be going with them. And when they're there, they'll participate in competitive sports like cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. And they are so excited when they come home with little medals. But it's really about having a good time and offering them the ability to do things that sometimes we take for granted.
Yeah, this has been a great winter for winter sports. So where do they typically do the snowshoeing and the skiing here?
So luckily we have our lovely park called Alexander Carr. We visit that one. It's off of Pierce Ave, and so when we can, we try to get out there and do some snowshoeing around the trails. We also offer the athletes the ability to, inside the lodge or if we're at Veterans Hall, to do some activities, different stretches, some cardio that will help them in the long run, even if there isn't snow. So we always have a snow plan and kind of a backup plan too of what we're going to do.
And then you mentioned basketball. There is actually a team in Derry. Is that true or not true? Or
is there a team?
Yeah,
there is. So we do have a team. We actually, for our Timberwolves team, we have 2 this year that will be competing, and I want to say we're up to about 22 athletes who will be participating in basketball this year. The great thing is last year, due to some coordination through Pinkerton Academy and ourselves at the Recreation Department and Special Olympics New Hampshire, we were able to push forward and get the state tournament for basketball put into Derry last year. And also, again, thanks to the school, because they also helped with that too.
I remember that was like around the entire town. We had activities at Sports Zone and the schools, and it was fun.
It was fun, and it was spectacular to have it here this year. Again, that's the plan. So,
really? Sneak peek?
Sneak peek, yeah. Well, if anybody who's interested in helping out, Special Olympics can definitely use the hands for that event. It will be the 4th and 5th of April. And again, will be taking place throughout Derry at the different gymnasiums in town. And we do things such as skills, and skills is things like athletes being able to dribble a ball or bounce the ball off of a basket, some hand-eye coordination skills, to playing 3-on-3 teams where there's maybe a little bit better abilities but not as much so yet. And then there's a traditional team, and the traditional teams can be anywhere from, you know, there's extreme skills that some of them can shoot better baskets than I can. I can tell you that. I have no shame. They are
amazing. They're better than me.
They're amazing athletes. They can make some great baskets, great coordination on the court, and it's really fun to watch. These individuals are so committed to their sport and to their team. And so even if you just want to come out and cheer your local team on, we really would love to have many Derry residents as possible there.
All right, and we'll try to get information about that beforehand. Now, what age range are the athletes in this team?
So we start at age 21, and we go up till whenever. And I say that because, again, I have athletes who, I want to say my oldest might be 66 at this point. 21, we normally get them from Pinkerton Academy. They have to be post-high school age, and that's normally the age that happens. So they will come in, we will do kind of like an intake interview, make sure that they are feeling comfortable with the team, fill out some paperwork through Special Olympics, and then they're part of the Timberwolves family.
And I know you have a bus, so you actually will transport them to different locations, or how does that work?
So we do. We do have a small van that we can caravan some of the athletes to. And we don't caravan all of the athletes. A lot of parent involvement and guardian involvement is needed. However, the van is really used because there are some athletes that unfortunately don't have family because of the wide age range that we have. Some of them are lucky and able to live independently, but some of them, unfortunately, their family has passed away or moved on. So our role is almost to assist them in, you know, making sure that they can participate in these kind of activities. You know, we're the gap for them that can kind of take care of helping them move forward in their lives.
Be social, and I'm sure you are their family. You know, I've seen some of the teams in Derry, and you know, Derry Parks and Rec is so wonderful. So you become family.
We do.
Yeah, and that's amazing. So, and you said that's for 21 and up. So what about younger? What happens with people who are younger than 21?
So that's what we've really been working on in the last couple of years. So luckily there is a program through Pinkerton Academy. They do have their own teams, and they usually participate in bowling and basketball throughout the year. We have been working as closely as we can with them. We really are excited for the collaboration that we've had. Recently I was at one of their open house nights as well. And all of these are about moving forward. The other thing that recently has happened is we, over the last year, have been working with Bill Jones through Special Olympics New Hampshire to get this program called YAP off the ground. It's called Young Athletes Program. And we are so excited because starting March 12th, Debbie has decided to help us and be the head volunteer coach for the Young Athletes Program, and it's for ages 2 to 7 years old. And what we're hoping to do with that, again, is to bridge the gap. So if we can have a program for ages 2 to 7 that is a unified program, and I can explain that, a unified program to you a little better in a couple moments, if we can bridge that gap, we might be able to create more programs locally in the town. So what we're doing at Parks and Recreation now is being the umbrella for Special Olympics New Hampshire that kind of point people in the right direction for those services.
Yeah, so traditionally athletes enter Special Olympics at age 8, is that correct?
Correct.
So they enter at age 8 and then they can join basketball or any of the other programs. But this specific program, this Young Athletes Program, is an inclusive program for children 2 to 7, which is why I'm so interested in it. I have 2 children ages 2 and 4, and I think there's a lack of activities for the age group. So explain to me what inclusive means.
So inclusive means that everyone gets to play together. There's no restrictions, there's no limitations, because in a world like we live in, there shouldn't be. You know, we all work together. Why don't we all play together? Yeah. So we're trying to introduce that concept to children of all ages. Yeah. So whether you have any limitations, whether physical or mental, or if you're able to go along your day like you normally would, it doesn't matter. You can participate in these programs. So Special Olympics, one of their goals is to increase their unified programs throughout the country and the world. And Young Athletes Program is one of those steps in that direction that the Special Olympics of New Hampshire has been really building. I want to say just a few years ago there was only one program, and recently I want to say we're over 20 programs in the state of New Hampshire. But I'm sure, again, Bill Jones knows more about that, and I know that there was a great segment with him about that as well. So.
Yeah, we'll have a whole new show just about the YAP program. But what was nice about it, again, was that age range, because there's a lot for children, babies and their parents, and a lot for school age, but there's not a lot for that group. So, and the other nice thing about it is because it is from 2 to 7, that you may have one child that's special needs and one not, they're both welcome to join in this 8-week program, which starts March 12th. It's free. So you would contact Nicole at Derry Parks and Rec. Parents can come. The children gain cognitive, physical, emotional growth in that time frame.
Absolutely. The skills that they learn can really help their progress amazingly. Some things that maybe would take 9 months for them to be able to learn, they're actually able to learn in this 8-week program. And that's great for all ages and all abilities to be able to have that opportunity, and even better, for free. Yep. You know, because it's run by volunteers. We're just a co-sponsor at the Derry Parks and Recreation Department. We're letting them utilize our facility to do this program. Because of it being a Special Olympics program, it can be free to the public, and even better, it's in Derry, and Derry residents can participate. I think it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm very excited. I will be the head coach for that program. I'm so excited because I think, like I said, I think there's a huge need. I've done some of the practice exercises with my children. They're excited. And I think it's, like you said, it's going to be a win-win for the community, and it's also a win for the parents. We do want the parents to be involved. They need to be there with their children, but it's also social for them too. They get to interact with other parents. And sometimes in that age range, it's hard to find other parents to interact with. So then you form a community, a family, and you grow together.
And I agree, because we see that with our adult program too. We do become their family, like you had mentioned before. We become their community, and it's all part of this resource that's available to them. So we have parents who are maybe new to the program, and athletes who are new to the program, and they sit down and they go, I think I've seen you before. And it immediately starts up a conversation of, how have you been? What's going on? Let's work together. And they need that just like you and I need that. You need those friendships. And again, part of this is bridging that gap and helping people have the opportunity of social networking in a nice community-based way.
Yeah, it's like I said, inclusive, unified family, and I think that's a great way to introduce children to friends and growing. So I just want to recap. So this program, the Young Athletes Program, is for children aged 2 to 7 in Special Olympics. You said from 8 to 21 you had bowling, bowling and basketball, is that correct?
No, from 21 and older we have
basketball.
The bowling, the basketball, we have snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, we also have swimming, so aquatics, and we also do track and field, bocce, and softball. We have a wide range of activities, and people can contact us anytime if they would want to be involved in that with our Special Olympics program.
And is there a program for the middle age from 8 to not yet?
Not yet, and that's what we're working on.
Opportunities.
There has been here and there have been programs that have tried to start up and then just got there and then kind of fell backwards, and it's, again, I think, due to support. So we're standing here now saying we're more than happy to support Special Olympics and to support the growth of this program, and hopefully with the Young Athlete Program it will build so that there will be more programs. I've already spoken to the school department. That was actually an earlier meeting, and it went fantastic, and I can't wait to see what we're going to do collaboratively with them as well. So it's all a team effort, and we're ready to work together.
Now, we'll touch on more on this in a second, but I know we're always looking for volunteers. But I mean, when you want to volunteer for a program like this, Special Olympics is a great asset. They provide almost everything you need to start a program. They provide you training, they provide equipment, so it's just a matter of finding some volunteers to work with the community.
Right.
All right, so before we get there, I wanted to touch base with, so we went over the winter activities. So spring's coming, hopefully, can't get here soon enough. I'm sure many people are tired of the snow. So what types of things do you do in the spring?
So as soon as basketball wraps up in April, we're pretty much right off the bat starting with our summer summer skills. So in April, actually, there will be a competition. It's a regional competition at Southern New Hampshire University. We do have athletes in our aquatic swim team that will be participating with that. I have an athlete who will be participating and a coach who will be participating. They're part of our Timberwolves team as part of the USA team for Special Olympics New Hampshire. So they will be at Southern New Hampshire University training for the national games, which will happen in New Jersey this year in June. So they'll be doing a lot of swim, and then our athletes who are not involved in swim will also be doing some track and field. So we do running, we do walking with aided device. We have some people who do wheelchair competitions. We do softball, we do bocce ball. They really have a great array of activities that they can pick from. They normally will go to Londonderry, which is our neighbor, and we'll have regional games. It's normally about the second weekend of May. Yeah. And then in the summer, as soon as we get to June, we're pretty much off and doing our summer games. And that's normally taking place at UNH, the college. And it's a fantastic program. They really love doing it. But we couldn't do it without our volunteers. So again, people who are 16 and older, we normally will take as volunteers to participate. It's a really simple process. We can really walk most athletes and their parents through it. All of the application processes are very simple. And again, we're always there to support if anyone needs any help.
Yeah, so you have some great programs, and it's really nice. The thing about Special Olympics is it's such a community builder, because like you mentioned, you're going to be going off to other institutions, you're going national competitions, local competitions, and it's just such a great community feel-good event. So if someone wanted to get involved, so if they had someone who wanted to learn to actually be in a program or to volunteer, we're always looking for volunteers. Right. What would they do?
So the first step is that if you know you want to volunteer for Special Olympics New Hampshire, I always recommend contacting them directly. But if you know that you want to volunteer for a specific team, contact the team. The website for Special Olympics New Hampshire is www.sonh.org. And when you go to that website, it gives you all of the information you need to be a part of Special Olympics New Hampshire.
Yeah, and it's a great resource, because then you can go there and see all of the programs they offer, the age ranges, so you can see what you might be interested in, and then you can contact your local community and see if they offer that. If they don't offer that specific program, then you can always talk to them about starting one. Exactly.
So again, as like an umbrella program, people can also contact myself over at the Derry Recreation Department. I'd be more than happy to connect them with Special Olympics. Sometimes it's nice to have a friendly face you already know. Yeah. So if anyone wanted to contact me directly at the office, they can definitely do that, and I can help make those connections for them as well.
And I know Derry Parks and Rec is a great co-sponsor with Special Olympics, and you always have been very supportive of them. But you personally have been involved in Special Olympics. I know you go up and take the penguin plunge, the very brave soul. Can you tell me a little bit about your personal involvement and what you've gotten out of it?
Sure. I actually was first introduced to Special Olympics approximately 8 years ago by Carol Madden. She had worked for the Derry Parks and Recreation Department for many years.
I've heard many good things about her.
Yeah, but what some people don't know is that she actually started this program about 40 years ago, the Timberwolves program. It's changed names, it's changed a little bit, but it's still the same program. And she, 40 years ago, was one of the initial people that helped with Special Olympics New Hampshire. It was before it had even really started in the state. So I met her 8 years ago, and she just knew that, Nicole, you're going to do great, and you're going to love this program because you love swimming and you love this kind of stuff. And I said, okay, I'll give it a try. And I got talked into it, and immediately I loved it. I was timid, but I loved it. It was so great to see how happy they were. And unfortunately, Carol Madden, who was my mentor for only a short while, unfortunately passed away, and sadly passed away in November of 2006. And after her passing, I saw the pain and the hurt in the families in these athletes, and they needed someone to be there. And there was a lot of athletes and a lot of coaches and a lot of parents, and we all really stuck together.
Again, the community bond.
And Since then, I've been lucky enough to see it grow in different capacities as I too have grown with the Derry Parks and Recreation Department. About 5 years ago, I decided to do my first penguin plunge, and that's where I, yes, jumped into the ocean on a Sunday in February. It's the first weekend in February, and again, this was my 5th year, but it's such a fantastic event. We raise so much money for Special Olympics New Hampshire and our team, which is so incredibly helpful. And what I like to tell people is the Special Olympics team raises all of its funds to be operational. So when we raise funds through holding a can at maybe a local store or by jumping into the ocean, that money gets put into the Special Olympics bin for our team, for Timberwolves team. And that is spent in a very good way. You know, to go for these different events, to go to Waterville Valley this time around, it's an extremely expensive event. And Special Olympics still has to charge a little bit for it because there is the expenses of the facilities that you're using. So the money that we raise through all this fundraising is fantastic. And I love Special Olympics. I really have to be honest, it has been a passion of mine for the last year or so since meeting Bill Jones to get the Young Athletes program going, because I think that's the direction we need to go in, is building this bigger, broader community base.
Yeah, more inclusive, more age ranges, get more people involved, parents and community. Like I said, I do think there's a need. I think it's a great program. But I want to touch on, again, the penguin plunge is like people, okay, yes, it's running in the ocean, it's very brave, but as you said, it's a lot more than that. It is a fundraiser. It's also a fun event. You know, every year there's a theme, you go in costume, you know, you often go as a team, you're there to support each other, and the money stays in the community. And you have to understand that Special Olympics is also largely nonprofit and volunteer-based, you know, so yeah, it's all for such a great cause.
It is, and the money is well used, it's well spent, it's monitored. Every local program is responsible for keeping track of their funds as in addition to Special Olympics. So there's many checks and balances there. But again, this is how we purchase equipment like snowshoes for them or cross-country skis, or how they get extra gym time, or how they end up having the opportunity to go to Park Place Lanes and be able to bowl. All of those things cost a little bit, and they add up when you have 40 athletes. So, and we do social events for them too. I always like to touch on that. Is we say once a Timberwolf, always a Timberwolf. Because we do 21 and older, there are some athletes who are unfortunately at this point incapable of competing. But we still do include them as part of the team. They're always invited to any of our social picnics that we do, or holiday get-togethers that we do. And again, all of that is put on through the fundraising that is taking place throughout the year.
Now, what exactly is a Timberwolf? Well, it's not a specific sport. It's the entire team. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that. See, I'm learning. I'm learning. Yeah.
Yep. Derry Rec Timberwolves is the entire Derry team that we have for under the Recreation Department. There are other entities and other teams locally in the town as well as within the area. We just happen to be one of the larger teams. Pinkerton also happens to be a very large team as well that participates on a regular basis.
So they have their own team?
They do.
And do they have a name?
I'm pretty sure they go through Pinkerton Academy. I wouldn't want to state anything incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure that they do participate in bowling, and they also participate in basketball. And I would highly encourage anyone who's interested in getting to know more about the Pinkerton program, if they have an individual that wants to be in the Pinkerton program. Yes, you can contact me, but there's Mark Connolly through Pinkerton Academy, and there's Paula Marini. Those are the two contacts that I would most likely suggest because I've worked so closely with them. But there's also a whole bunch of other fantastic people that are at Pinkerton Academy that would be more than happy to help introduce them to Special Olympics New Hampshire.
And do you do any joint ventures with Pinkerton and the Timberwolves team?
We've talked about it. We are not quite there yet. We sat down towards the end of last school year and talked about it. And again, we're just starting to introduce a few new things. We were involved in their community night that they had recently for anyone that was going into Pinkerton Academy or involved in Pinkerton Academy. So we had met for that as well. And they're always invited to participate in our practices that we have. And we normally have practices every Wednesday. from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock at our Veterans Hall location, but anyone can contact us to see when that's going on, just to confirm that it's happening. But we do all sorts of things, and they're invited to participate in anything that we have. And they're also invited through Special Olympics New Hampshire to participate in regional events. And those, again, are regional events are things that are held at Londonderry. There's one in Londonderry for track and field, and a few others throughout the year.
Yeah, no, it's a great community, so anything that we don't offer, we can direct people to find the right place, or even try to start a new program here. So is there anything that you want to cover about Special Olympics that we might have missed?
No, I think I covered most of it. Again, we are so excited to be sending. His name is James Toll. I just want to let everyone know James Toll will be part of our Derry Rec Timberwolves team, who will now be part of the USA Nationals team. And we also have Kim Morrow, who is our head coach for aquatics, who will also be going. She will be the head coach for the Special Olympics Nationals New Hampshire team as well. So good luck to them. We're really excited for them. We have had this happen a couple times in the past where we've been lucky enough to have some athletes go and coaches go, and we're always so excited for them, and the team can't wait to cheer them on.
Yes, no, that's a great thing to root for your community, root for all the community. But the thing with Special Olympics, everyone wins.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a win-win. So is there information on the Derry website about Special Olympics?
We do. We do have a link on our recreation page that talks about Special Olympics, our Timberwolves team. Once you go on there, it has information listed on about how to participate as a volunteer, how to register as an athlete, about our fundraising opportunities and what we're doing. There's also a nice few cute pictures on there, a calendar of events. We try to make it all accessible for our athletes as well. Yeah. So that from home, the ones that are independent can access the information too.
So you go to derry-nh.org, look up Parks and Rec, so you can find information there. You can call Parks and Rec directly. What is your number there?
It's 603-432-6136. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. till 4:30 p.m. I'm usually there, so you can ask. you can definitely ask for myself, but you can also ask for Debbie or Eric, who are also in our office full time. We are all a little bit involved in different ways in the Special Olympics program. We normally love getting involved in practices and athletics, as well as the administrative side whenever we really can. So.
Yeah. So again, opportunities for the community, and you can also You can also go to the Special Olympics website, which is sonh.org. Is that correct?
Yep.
So just recap, opportunities involve being a participant, volunteering for a lot of these programs as an assistant coach or a coach.
You can also be a partner, so as well as being an athlete or being a volunteer coach or a head coach, you can also be a participant, as a partner, as a unified partner, and that goes back to the unified athletics that we are really trying to work on in the state of New Hampshire and across the board with Special Olympics. So partners help with different skills. So I have someone who's partnering up with maybe athletes for our basketball program.
So if you love basketball, you might want to join that program.
Exactly.
Or swimming.
Exactly. If there's one sport that interests you more than others, or maybe you just want to give all of them a try. I even have people who volunteer that just help us coordinate parties and events and socials. We've gone to Boston Aquarium and we've gone to the Globetrotters, and we can't do it all ourselves, so those volunteers are critical to us. So if anyone is interested in any of the above, I guess you could say, definitely contact us, because we can make those connections for you. If we can't answer it, I'm always determined to point people in the right direction of those who can.
If you have a question, we'll guide you. So again, we're very excited to offer the Young Athletes Program, which is a brand new program for Derry, free to residents. Starting March 12th. It's an 8-week program. You would sign up in advance, and then the program is free. But before you go, I know Parks and Rec is also offering a lot of exciting things this spring and some new things. So would you mind just giving us a quick little rundown of what to look for at Parks and Rec this summer and spring?
Absolutely. There's always so much going on at the Derry Parks and Recreation Department. T-ball registrations are actually just going to be starting next week.
And they love that.
They do, ages 4 through 7, and it's a nice program for people to get introduced to baseball and softball. football. The program will be running as of May 2014, but registrations do start March 3rd and will go through April 11th. We also, again, have the Young Athletes program that'll be starting March 12th. We have a class called Piloxing. It is a new fitness Hollywood craze, I guess you could say.
I haven't heard of that yet. So what exactly is Pilates?
It's a mix of Pilates and boxing. And I know you're saying, how can you do both at the same time? But Jackie Penrod, our instructor, does an awesome job at making sure that everybody is comfortable in class. It has had a great following. We think it's the next craze after Zumba. So we are now on our second session. We'll be starting that program this Saturday, March 1st. And it is again, a 6-week program. We'll be taking off 1 week. March 15th we'll not be having class, but it's a $10 drop-in each time you want to go, or you can pay for the session up in front if you want to, which is obviously less. But some people like just being able to pick and choose when they can make it, and it's a nice fitness boost. You have the option of doing some extra cardio, and then you also get your chance at the end to stretch and do your Pilates with a yoga mat. So,
and if that's too much for me, too active, I know you also offer yoga, which is great for slowing down and meditation. You have some great senior activities.
We do. In addition to our yoga, which is Mondays and Thursday evenings, we have some other programs that are groups that are 50 and older that are really participating in. One new one is called Zengevity. Debbie has been very helpful with this program. It's starting on Mondays. It's continuing right now. It's very, very new. It's $3 for Derry residents, and it's really a body-mind kind of balance, but it's fun.
It's different. It's a combination of some fun and some exercise, some play, and really we laugh a lot. The whole point is to laugh a lot and to get some moving, get your joints moving. We've had a few classes so far, and yes, we'd love for you to come and try it out. That's on Mondays at 10, or 9 to 10.
It's 9 to 10, yep. And I do laugh, I have to say, because there was one class that it was so loud, we did have to close the office doors. And the ladies were very concerned that they were making too much noise. And I said, no, you keep going with it. So
never too much laughter.
Never at all. So we love having commotion going on at the recreation department. So we have so much, again, going on. At the end of March, we're going to be having our annual rabies clinic, which all the proceeds to that go back to the Derry Dog Park.
Yeah.
It's another community-funded program which really needs the help of donations, so people can donate to that, or they can attend the rabies clinic, which is a nice reduced cost. And again, that's the end of March. I'm not exactly sure of the date. I apologize. But we
always call or check the website.
Oh, absolutely. We have a spring luncheon that is for individuals who are 50 and better, I will say. That's going to be April 16th. That's a new event that we're having going on this year. We also have a Swing into Spring Boston trip. We're going to go check out Fenway Park, and then after Fenway Park, we're going to take a duck tour in Boston. And we're already taking registrations for that program as well. And there's an adult rate and a child rate. And that's great because it's during the April vacation week.
That's for the whole community, just to go take a trip to Boston, have fun for a day.
It's a bus trip, so you don't have to worry about driving into the city. We take care of all of the parking headaches, and we take care of all the ticket purchases. They're already done and ready for you. You just get on the bus and go for a great trip for a day in Boston. And so we have that going on, my goodness. And then we turn around, and May 5th, I want to say, we're going to start doing our summer registrations. So it's just around the corner. People will be able to sign up for swimming lessons for age 1 and older, which is new this year. We're going to start a little bit younger. We're going to start at age 1 this year. We're also going to be having kayaking lessons, and we'll have tennis clinics and all sorts of so much fun. But if anybody wants more information, we are trying to make sure that the updates on the website are current for right now, so people can also see what's going to be coming up ahead in another couple of months and throughout the year, which is something new that we're doing on our website. So I encourage people to contact us directly.
You have a calendar there. You have all the activities listed there.
Absolutely. There's so much going on every single day, and if you don't see it there, always give us a call and ask, because again, if we don't know, we're going to point you in the right direction as someone who does.
So we covered a lot today. Is there anything that you wanted to mention that we may have missed?
I don't believe so, but I definitely thank you for having me here, and I'm hoping that, again, people see that this is a great community connection, and really choose to get involved, because we love it. And I know that anybody who just spends 5 minutes with our team or with this Young Athletes program, which I know is about to launch, it'll change their view, and they're going to want to get involved.
There are so many opportunities to stay connected in this community. So thank you for coming, Nicole.
Thank you.
So again, I'm Debbie Roy from Derry Community Television. I know we covered a lot in the segment. Derry Parks and Rec is always very busy and offering some great programs for the community. We have all the great parks. There's Don Ball, Alexander Carr, Hood Park that will be offering a lot of our activities this summer. If you have any questions about the YAP program, Special Olympics, any of the programs offered by Derry Parks and Recreation, you can always go to the website, derry-nh.org, or call Parks and Recreation directly to find out more. We'll be happy to help any way we can. Hope to see you around this summer and this spring. We can't wait till spring. I'm so ready for spring to start, so we're excited. So many great things. Thank you for your time, and have a great day.